Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Sgcarmart Reviews. Julian here. So we are at the Singapore Motorshow 2024 at Suntec Convention Centre and we are about to head in. The show hasn't officially started yet, but we are very excited to show you cars like the Lexus LBX, the Volvo EX30, as well as the Suzuki Jimny 5-door, which unfortunately isn't for sale, but we're still nevertheless going to check that out. So let's go. So at the Mercedes-Benz booth, apart from the EQG concept car that is covered at the moment, of course we have the EQE53 right here. This car is capable of 625 brake horsepower as well as 950 Newton meters of torque. So it gets from 0 to 100 in 3.7 seconds. At the boost, and it'll be 3.5 seconds. Now of course, at the same booth, you cannot miss out the high-performance C63SE performance. Now this car is the world's most powerful inline-4 you'll ever find. It's 2-litre inline-4, produces 680 brake horsepower, 1020 Newton meters of torque. Gets from 0 to 100 in just 3.4 seconds. Of course, such a powerful car is going to set you back some $671,888. So of course, if you were to ask me, the real star at Mercedes-Benz booth has got to be this GLB 180. Now this car is a 1.33-litre inline-4, produces 130 brake horsepower and 230 Newton meters of torque. If you're a family man, this 7-seater SUV should be on your list. But not least, at the Mercedes-Benz booth, we have the EQG concept car, which is supposed to be the all-electric G-Class. I don't quite know. I'm caught in the middle because I don't know which one is cooler, this car or the Suzuki Jimny 5-door. Now the other car that you really have to take a look and catch at least is this Jimny 5-door. Now Suzuki has brought in this car. Unfortunately, it's not for sale and I can't understand why, but it at least shows you the capability of the brand. What it's really capable of doing. Something that's really appealing, something that's really rugged, something that's really cool. Now at the Nissan booth, you got to check this car out. Now this is the Nissan Serena e-Power. E-Power is now in its second generation. It has a 1.4-litre power plant, pumps out 161 brake horsepower and 350 Newton meters of torque. So the numbers have been bumped up, but more importantly is the safety suite. This car now comes with lane departure warning as well as blind spot monitoring system. So perfect for families. New from Aura is the Aura 07. Now this car, while we don't have the specs yet, this car will be coming into Singapore in the third quarter of 2024. But first and foremost, this car will go up against the likes of the BYD Seal as well, Polestar 3 and Tesla Model 3. Now on first glance, this car looks like Porsche in the front and Bentley at the back. So you cannot miss this out. Now at the Hyundai booth, there are several cars worth looking at, and this car is definitely worth your time because this is the Ioniq 6 rear-wheel driven car. It is the only Cat A electric sedan in the market right now. It will set you back $188,999, but that's not the point. The point is you can drive up to 430 kilometers long based on the 53 kilowatt-hour battery. So it'll pump out 145 brake horsepower as well as 350 Newton meters of torque. And of course, my personal favorite has got to be this car. This is the Hyundai Ioniq 5N. Yes, the Ioniq 5 is Sgcarmart's very own car of the year, but this takes it to a whole new level. This car will be available for you in the second half of 2024. While the numbers and the prices are not out yet, take a look at this car really carefully. Everything is now more aggressive. The color tone, the N-word, the red tunes, it's all there. Because on the inside of the Ioniq 5N, it is decidedly sporty yet comfortable at the same time. I mean, you look at this, it is decidedly special. You get these buttons here, you get that light blue stitching that reminds you that this is an N car, not just an ordinary Hyundai. And of course, you get this N letter here on the seats, bucket seats no less. So it feels very sporty, yet luxurious, functional and comfortable all at once. This at the Citroën booth is the EC4X. The difference from the EC4 is that this has a bigger boot space because this is the fastback style, but it's ultimately still a sedan. This will have 510 litres worth of hauling capacity compared to the regular EC4, which only has 380. So that is the biggest appeal. This car at the Motor Show will go for $145,999. Now things get a little bit more exciting at the Polestar booth because right here is the second concept from Polestar. As we all know, the first concept is the Polestar Precept. This is the Roadster concept. This car is the concept for the Polestar 6, a car that should be coming to Singapore in 2026. When that happens, stay tuned. Now at the Toyota booth, there is no way you can miss out this car. This is the 5th generation Toyota Prius. This one will have 138 brake horsepower and it'll get from 0 to 100 in 9.3 seconds. It should go on sale very soon. While prices are still unknown, I reckon it should be at a ballpark figure of about 180,000. So get your wallets ready. Now at the Subaru booth, of course, you have exciting cars, and of course, you also have my personal favorites like the WRX as well as the Rex Wagon. But this is something that we really have to touch on, the BRZ. Now this is a 2.4-litre 4-cylinder car. It pumps out 237 brake horsepower and 250 Newton meters of torque. Now here's where it gets a bit tricky. In the automatic version, it completes a century sprint in 6.9 seconds, but in a manual transmission car, it completes a century sprint in 6.3 seconds. So if I were you, get the manual one. Now, unveiling for the very first time in Singapore is the Lexus LBX. Now, do not miss out on this car because this car has a 1.5-litre 3-pot engine, pumps out 129 brake horsepower and 185 Newton meters of torque. But more importantly, is Lexus' first ever Cat A COE car, which means it'll go for $214,888. Do not miss this. This car has got to be one of my favorites at the Singapore Motorshow. This is the MG Cyberster. Now this sports all-electric car has over 500 brake horsepower, gets from 0 to 100 in just after 3 seconds, and best part of all, you have a range of over 500 kilometers as well. But my personal favorite is this. There are several concepts at the Singapore Motorshow 2024, and one of them is the Mini Aceman. Now this car is really funky and really playful. When you come to the Mini booth, this is right in front. You cannot miss it. The most special thing about this car is when you choose the different modes to fit your different moods, it sets everything, not just on the screen, but on the dash as well. Let's check it out. Another Cat A car you really have to keep your eye on is this. This is the BMW X2. Has a 1.5-litre 3-cylinder engine, pumps out 122 brake horsepower and 230 Newton meters of torque. Gets from 0 to 100 in just 10.5 seconds, but it's not so much about the numbers, it's about this. Being aggressive looking, sporty, and it still falls under the Cat A COE. Now the other car you really have to take note at the BMW booth is this. This is the BMW iX1. All-electric SUV, pumps out 147 brake horsepower, 250 Newton meters of torque. It's the same as the X2, gets from 0 to 100 in about 10.5 seconds flat. But this gives you 474 kilometers worth of range. Now at the Mazda booth, you can expect something a little bit more exciting. Yes, the CX-5 that you see here might be same to you, but in the first quarter of 2024, you can expect a mild hybrid variant to come. When that happens, keep a lookout for it. Now at Audi's booth, do not give this Q4 Sportback e-tron a miss because it will let you have 286 brake horsepower and over 500 Newton meters of torque. But more importantly, with the 770 kilowatt-hour battery, it allows you to drive over 544 kilometers as an entire range. It's a family car, but you can also drive it like a madman, like what I will do. At the Volvo booth, do not keep your eyes off the EX30. This all-new crossover pumps out 272 brake horsepower and over 340 Newton meters of torque. Now, if you're a newly married couple, this car should be on your list because it's so interesting that even the headlights resemble the EX90. Now at the Honda booth, you get the 5-seater CR-V, you get the 7-seater CR-V, depending on what you're looking for. Both models pumps out 193 brake horsepower and 243 Newton meters of torque. It's not so much about how fast it really goes, but it's more about what you are really looking for. If you ask me, 7-seater makes a really good choice. Now this is the Omoda E5, a car that you shouldn't miss out at the Singapore Motorshow 2024 because this car has a 61 kilowatt-hour battery. You can allow the car to drive up to 430 kilometers worth of range. It has 201 brake horsepower. It has 340 Newton meters of torque. Gets from 0 to 100 in just above 7 seconds. There is very little to dislike about this car. If you're in the market looking for a family car at the Singapore Motorshow 2024, you cannot ignore the Kia EV9 because this car offers over a range of 500 kilometers, it has 700 Newton meters of torque, 380 brake horsepower, it gets from 0 to 100 in 6 seconds, but it's not about the speed. This is a family car ultimately and it sits 6. So right behind me is like a bonus car, right? This car isn't part of the motor show, but it's at the atrium of the convention center. This is the Denza D9 by BYD. This car goes up against the likes of the Alphard as well as the Velfire Hybrid. So if you're ever looking for a huge car that can fit all your family, your kids, make your wife happy, this might be the answer for you. So there you have it, guys. That is the end of our highlights of the Singapore Motorshow 2024. If you are ever interested in any of the cars that we have highlighted, head on down to Suntec Convention Centre to have a look at these cars in the flesh. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Comment in the comment box below and let us know what you think about the Singapore Motorshow. You can also follow us on TikTok. Our handle is @Sgcarmart. In the meantime, stay safe, be well. Ciao. It's a shit show, I can tell you this. Sorry. Fine, 不可以啊 fine. I either need more drink. Hey, please don't let Vinod know I keep meeting with him later. 哇死啊！